This week, David and I are here with the 2025
Toyota LandCruiser Prado Kakadu.
We waited, David, and waited and waited for a new Land Cruiser, and we got the LC300. My whelmed was a little under. Yeah, but it's not horrible, but it just wasn't a leap. Do you think this Tonka toy is a leap, David?
It's solid. It's Toyota's solidness about it.
I think it's got cues from the FJ Cruiser. And I love the front. I think it looks particularly good, but David, I'm not all that enthralled with the drivetrain.
Look, I showed it to a guy one time, just recently, and he hadn't looked at them for a while. And he said, V8? No. 6-cylinder? No, 4-cylinder. 2.8 litre, mild turbo, 4-cylinder, 150 kilowatts.
Hybrid.
Mild hybrid.
It is a mild turbo, I must admit. But David, 150 kilowatts and
500 newton metres.
And the automatic, it's an 8-speed.
8-speed, yeah.
8-speed automatic.
Look,
now,
it's not revolutionary in a way. Now, the looks at the front, it almost goes back to the old expression of a bit of Transformers, isn't it? The very square lights. But whether you like it or not, I quite like the fact that it's not over the top.
Oh, I love it.
In terms of big grille.
The side looks rather good. Then it's got that little step up, which, David, as you know, annoys the bejesus out of me. Little step up into the back window.
Oh, okay.
Then you come round to the back, where there's a little bit of innovation. David, show them the window. The window, son, the window. And pull it up. You'll need that little thing there. Look at that. Very clever to have a half hatch. Now, if you close that again, David, and reach under the thing and open, under that, yep. Have a look at this. I don't know what in God's name that is. It's a flimsy flower pot there to put your bits and bobs in. I've used it for groceries. But have a look at this. So just put that down for a minute. That's the third row of seats folded down.
Yeah.
So that whole thing uses up much of the space in the back. I mean, that thing's got to be 20 centimetres tall.
Alan, there's no anchor points. So if I'm reading that right, you can only put little kids in. They've got to be able to climb in to get to it. But you can't put real little kids in that need a baby seat with an anchor point.
Well, you wouldn't be able to put a baby seat in here anyway. How on earth would you get in to put it in? God almighty. But you tumble those seats down. There is a fair bit of room in the back. David, let's show the people about the room in the back. Why don't you hop in the back, son?
I've got a handle. That's good.
Yes, a Jesus grip. Lovely.
Oh, that's good. And
plenty of room, leather, feet under the seat in front.
Well and truly under the seat. Alan, I've got such a huge number of controls here.
And David, what have I got plugged into the 12 volt?
The dash cam.
Yeah, because I couldn't find one in the front. If there is there, I don't know where it is.
Oh, Toyotas can be very hard to do that.
Yeah, they can, but there's a third row of climate control.
Oh,
You've got heated and cool seats, look.
Yeah. I like that.
Which I think is lovely. However, it doesn't, this is a $108,000 drive-away car.
Yeah, maybe 110 in some places.
There's a sunroof, David. I've got the cover across at the moment. I have had it open at various stages through the week.
Panoramic. That's really helpful for people in the second row.
It is. However, only the front part opens. Well, I mean, at least the front part does open. But David, I've got a problem with this. 3 times this week it's been the same thing. I've got 2 buttons up here to close, one button to close, one to close and lock. 3 times this week I've come back and this has been open.
Oh.
It's just mysteriously opening itself after I've left the scene of the crime. Now, one of them, I was in Coles doing my shopping, put the Coles in, the bags in, closed and locked because I was going to the other side of the car park to dutifully return my shopping trolley. What do you think happened?
Came back and hopped in the car?
I came back, hopped in the car, went to drive away, and a little man was chasing me saying, no, you're not drive. I thought, why wouldn't I drive? Well, the back had opened again. Now, it can't have been open when I got in the car because I'm sure I'd have noticed it. Maybe I wouldn't. Either way, it was open and I was going to drive out the shopping centre. Imagine taking out a sprinkler.
And taking out a few things.
It would have been disastrous. And if that man hadn't told me, I mean, I may have gotten all the way out before I noticed. There was no beeping, no nothing. It was completely silent.
Even when you turn the car on and want to move.
Well, there was just, I don't know. I don't know whether it was open before. So at no stage has it told me it was opening. And on one occasion, a neighbour came and told me that my back tailgate was open. She closed it for me, but of course she didn't have the key, so I couldn't lock it.
This is the equivalent of a phone bum dial in a way, isn't it? That it does something.
Well, yeah, except that doesn't mean your phone's going to get nicked or raped and pillaged. But anyway, let's see what it's like on the track.
It's averaging 9.8. Very light on the steering. It does give you that element of confidence. Oh, I've got a see-through look here as well. See through the car. I quite like that. So we went through the water and it just gives you confidence. There's no question that I know these traps and normally you would not go bounding into them, but it just takes it in its stride. I'm in high, four-wheel drive high. I haven't changed it down to low. You've got to work carefully at that. If you pull it into the low gear, I think you've got to be a bit straight and maybe give a little bit of distance to doing it.
Well, what an adventurous afternoon it's been. We had to drag our friend out of off a rock. His Toyota Hilux got stuck. And that's what off-roading is all about. And this is an incredibly capable off-roader. It is a master at what it does. You can see that I've turned on the electronic mirror. Not because I particularly wanted it, but because I wanted to show you. But I've got the car dirty and dusty, just like it should be. Now, even here on this track, I'm going to this is a rather beautiful area, full of the bounty of nature and Australia's fantastic open spaces. And it's good to see this car being used for what it was designed for. I've got the suspension just in normal now, so the multi-terrain system has been switched to drive mode, and I've just got it in normal. Actually, I'm going to put it in comfort to see what difference that makes. Because I tried comfort earlier, and actually it was a little bit seesawy. It was like being on the Queen Mary in a storm. Not entirely pleasing. Now on comfort, oh, I tell you what, this is lovely. Maybe this is what comfort's meant to be for on this kind of road. But my four-wheel drive system is very easy to use. Put it in neutral and you can select fall low. Put the multi-terrain system in, you can select from mud, sand, snow, automatic. Oh, God's truth. And then you get eventually to tarmac. And on the tarmac, you're back in civilization. You feel like the king of the road, so this feels very much like a LandCruiser 300. I'm just going to switch it to normal. There is Sports and Sports Plus, the suspension adjusts, the transmission. On the open road, this has been magnificent. We've slowed down now, unfortunately, but the cruise control and lane control work quite well. I'm not getting any unnecessary messages. Something that really irritates me about certain cars that message me when I'm not watching the road, even though I'm looking exactly like this. I like being able to check my mirrors. I do like these electronic mirrors, but sometimes they're a bit difficult to focus on, but it is a very good picture. All of the controls are on the steering wheel, and so I can see them. Toyota's gotten rid of that awful control down by the side for cruise control. All in all, this is a really comfortable car to drive. So let's have a little look at my displays. I've got a big head-up display. I've got a very large driver display here, and I've got a really big center display. Below that, I've got some air conditioning controls, USBs and so on beneath that. A wireless charging pad for my phone, which is great. Terrain select, I've got all of the off-road controls. Lovely big center bin, and in this particular one, it has a cooled section, so I can turn the cool on, have a nice cool drink. As David pointed out, the ADAS features in this off-road focused Prado are very good. The safety features are very good. Once upon a time in these big SUVs, it was questionable to say the least. Toyota's done a really good job of making this feel a little bit less tank-like. But make no bones about it, Prado still feels like an off-roading 4x4. It does not feel like a car. Some of the new SUVs feel like cars, and indeed some of the utes that we've tested recently, they feel like cars. Despite its mild hybrid, I'm slightly disappointed in the fuel consumption, but over a long distance, you know, it may well improve. It's fairly heavy, and it is fairly easy to drive and park in town, which is probably where most of these will be used. I'm not a diesel person. I don't much care for them, never have. I think I prefer a hybrid, and Toyota's got some excellent hybrids. So in the wrap-up, Prado is very quiet, relatively speaking. It's very comfortable, extremely well equipped, very good off-road credentials, a drivetrain that could take you anywhere in the country. And that's the advantage of diesel, is that you can get diesel, at least at the moment, you can get it anywhere. David, you've reviewed this car before. What did you think?
I didn't find it as practical as it could be. It was solid, as I said. It did the things that you want to do. You expect
It is
a
nice-ish
Toyota
to drive.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Oh, look, and it handled the rough stuff, not just in terms of climbing up the side of the mountains, but for the family, driving smoothly along a bit of a rutted road.
Sure. There's a couple of places where Toyota's lacking. They've said they don't, and they were quoted as saying they don't see the need to extend the warranty because of the Australian Consumer Guarantee. That is just the most appalling thing I've ever heard. And where we did the MGU9 launch this last week, and that's got a 7-year warranty. This is lagging a long way behind.
5 years, unlimited K.
You know, and I think the technology is probably a little old-fashioned, and I think the cabin, though I don't mind it, is also old-fashioned. Remember, we had the last one for 10 or 12 years, which means we'll have this one for 10 or 12 years, and this one looks as old as the last one did.
There's two major trends. One is electrification, the other is digitization of the controls and the screens.
Yeah.
This is incremental in that using of the screen rather than being, I don't say revolutionary, but rather than making a pretty giant step.
I like it, but it is $108,000 drive away.
In New South Wales, a bit higher in other states.
Yeah. David, as always, hit like
Leave a message.
and just over there to subscribe.